Hi everyone, it's Camila. I hope you all having a great day. If you're new here on the channel, we mostly do speed builds, and today it's a pretty special video again because it's another collab that I've been invited to. So this one is a group collab organized by Sadie Sims, and she's a very talented builder. I really love her videos and all her builds are super cool. So of course I'll put her channel in the description in case you didn't see anything from her. But yeah, she invited me, I think Monday or Tuesday. It's a long story, so I won't go too much into that in details. But basically I was invited a little later than the others, and she's doing a collab for every season, every year, I think. So at first I was supposed to join for the next ones that are for other seasons, but I decided to join for the Halloween one too because when I saw the theme I was really interested to participate in it. And if you didn't know, right now we have the third Sparked challenge and it's linked with occults, and I had an idea for this challenge, so I basically took this idea that I decided to not do basically because I was missing some time and I wanted to do other builds instead. So long story short, I was debating if I should participate in the Halloween one, which is called Simhain or Simhain 2020. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Maybe it's not even maybe I'm not even close. But anyway, I didn't know if I would have the time, and originally I wanted to do a family home like Wednesday and have another video for Saturday, so today. But in the end that didn't work out because I wasn't able to do the family home I wanted. I wasn't inspired at all in the end, so I decided to do this build and use the idea that I got for the Sparked challenge because the theme of this collab, basically it was that we should choose one of the occults or maybe humans and do a house or maybe a lot linked to them. So personally I chose Ghost, but you will see that there's a little twist to it later on when I will talk about the backstory I had in mind and everything. But you had the choices of plant sims, humans as I said, ghosts, vampires, spellcasters, mermaids I think, maybe aliens, I'm not really sure, but pretty much every occult that we have in the game. And if you know me and you've been on my channel for a while, you know that Halloween isn't my favorite holiday at all. I don't like watching horror movies or TV shows or anything, so I'm not the best to do these builds, sorry. So that's why I didn't do that much of them during October, but I really love occults and it's one of the gameplay that I like the most. I love occults, I love Get Famous and City Living. These are all my favorites, and I really had to do this collab in the end. Basically I really wanted to do it and I'm very happy with the result, and I'm also very honored to be a part of this collab because there's some amazing builders. So of course I will put the playlist in the description, you will be able to go see that. I swear you won't be disappointed. There's a lot of amazing stuff there, and I've seen some work in progress screenshots and also some thumbnails, some videos. And yeah, I couldn't be more pleased to participate in it, so I encourage you to check this out. So at first my idea was to build something for a vampire. That's what I wanted to do for the Sparked challenge, but I wanted to make a very elevated house like that, and it would be sitting on big rocks. The rocks that I thought would fit the most were these ones by Island Living because they're very easily stackable and it looks like seamless and it can make some very high rocks. So I thought it was the perfect ones. Also because of the color that is pretty dark, and I wanted to have the house in the middle of a big lake river kind of thing. And at first I didn't want to have these very big rocks behind the house, but I decided to add that, and when I did that I thought the build looked way better. I don't know about you, maybe you don't like this type of builds that have a lot of rocks and that you of course need bb dot move objects on to play with. In that case, I think it would be pretty easy to delete all these rocks and just put the castle down. I say castle, but it's probably going to be called Manor in the title of the video. I'm not sure of the title yet. For now, I think it will look like Ravine Manor or something like that, with ghost in the title, probably because that's what I decided to do a house for. So as you saw, I started with the rocks, which was pretty fast to do. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this idea for the collab, because I didn't have that much time, and placing rocks is pretty fast and the result is pretty cool in my opinion. So I was able to do that like probably in 30 minutes, the whole landscaping and the place where the castle was. And then I made a first attempt to the manor. My first one was very different, and it was more like a square with some quirky shapes. This one I could more compare it to a rectangle, I guess. I know it doesn't really look like that, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I had a lot of different irregular shapes and everything, and I put a lot of details on the roofing. At first I wanted to do a black manor, but in the end I thought it wouldn't contrast at all with the rocks in the background, so it would be too dark in my opinion, and I decided to go with a full white castle with some gray and some black windows, but it's more white than black. The staircase isn't included in the thumbnail, but as you can see there's one, and I decided to give it kind of an irregular shape like the build because I thought it looked better than just one straight line to the bottom. And I play tested it, it's fully okay, so you can play with your Sims there. And as you can see right now, I'm starting to add some kind of fairy lights in the landscaping. They come from Realm of Magic and you can find them with the debug catalog, so I will put all the cheats that I use in the description as always. If you want to have some more objects in your game and everything, you can enter these cheats and you will find some very cool stuff. And in the Realm of Magic debug, there's these very cool lights. I think there's blue ones and yellow ones too. The purple ones were fitting more in my opinion, so that's what I decided to use, and that's also the color scheme of the interior that you are seeing right now. But yeah, I thought these very cool purple lights could evoke maybe some spirits of the mountain or something close to that. It's just a very cute idea, or not cute, but cool idea that I had in mind. So as I said, I chose to do a manor for a ghost, but there's a little twist to that because it's a ghost, but in their life they were a spellcaster. So it's a girl that was a spellcaster all her life. She died in the fire in a very tragic accident, but she's still living in this castle with her butler, and I thought of a pretty cool backstory, I think. So I thought that she could have been an actress in her real life, and she wasn't openly a spellcaster, so she was hiding her true nature and no one knew about that. She was a very well-known actress and then she just disappeared. So no one in the sim world knows why and knows where she went, knows that she died or anything, but Sims still remember her and they really love her and her acting. So that's kind of the backstory I had in mind. Now she's living in this very cool manor with her butler, as I said. So there's 2 bedrooms in this house. There's one for her, so she has a very cool and big bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, and then the butler has a very small bedroom. So one day her mansion where she was living as an actress was just empty with no butler, no anyone, and no one knows where she is, where her butler is. Is she dead or did she just disappear? No one knows. And now, as I said, she lives here with her butler that is also a ghost. If you want, of course, you can imagine what happened to them. I made this story to be mysterious and kind of open so everyone could imagine their own story, and I thought it was an interesting idea. So they have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 living room, of course. This here is kind of a tea room. I don't really know how to call that, but you have a very cool seating area, and there's also the staircase leading to the second floor. We also have the kitchen, a very cool piano, a room for the spellcaster to do some potions and everything. And of course I furnished the 2 towers, and you will see that later on. So I didn't imagine a very detailed and complicated backstory for this spellcaster, but I will put a more detailed version of the story probably on my build on the gallery, because as I said, I think it will be also my entry for the Sparked challenge. So I would very appreciate it if you went and voted for it and maybe download it if you want to play with it. I will put the link to the gallery website in my description if you want to vote for it, if you like my creation. And yeah, as I said, I will probably have to write a little story in the description of this post, and I can't wait to do that. A part that I really love about building in The Sims is imagining the story of the family that lives there and everything. So I was really happy to be able to participate in this collab and at the same time do my entry for the Sparked challenge, because the 2 themes were kind of similar and fitting really well. And I think a lot of other simmers participating in the collab also did their entry for the Sparked challenge in the collab, so I'm not the only one. And I never did that really, but I will do that for the first time since it's a collab. I will kind of present myself and present what I do on my channel, just because for some of you it's probably the first time that you watch one of my videos. So I started doing videos on YouTube in February, the last February, just before the pandemic. When I started, I've been wanting to do speed builds for like 3 years or something around that. I really wanted to have my own channel because I love to build, I love The Sims, and I really wanted to share my creations with everyone. So I was really happy when I started. And as I said, I'm doing speed builds. I also tried some other types of videos like cast videos and also challenges, but I'm mostly doing speed builds because that's what I like the most. So if you want to check out my channel and see what type of videos I'm doing, definitely do that. I think I'm pretty versatile. I am doing a lot of different types of builds. So sometimes I'm doing more basic family homes, occult builds, I'm doing mansions, or more weird builds, I guess I could say it like that. I did an underwater mansion once. I did a space station when Journey to Batu came out. I also did a cyberpunk city, sorry. Something I really like to do is to take inspiration from some regions in the world and do some builds around that. So I have a playlist called Around the World, and there I have a Greek villa, a Japanese mansion and everything. So you can definitely check that out if that interests you. I'm also French Canadian, so my first language isn't English, but I'm doing my best. And the last thing I have to say is I also have an Instagram where I post content almost every day. I post reels of custom furniture and tips and tricks to get better at building on The Sims. So you can check that out too. I'm really happy to have you today for this speed build, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. One of the things that we had to do for this collab is to make it spooky. I don't know if I achieved that. I'm not the best to do that, as I said. I'm not one to concentrate or focus more on Halloween every year, and I had to ask for advices on Instagram and Twitter because, as I said, it's not really my strength. And a lot of people told me use Vampires, Realm of Magic. Those 2 packs are really good for spooky builds, and I really agree. It really helped me, and I also used some cobwebs, which is a word that I hate to say. I tried to be careful not to use too much lighting to make it look a little bit more dark and spooky. I also put some cracks and stains on the walls that are from the Vampires pack, and I still wanted it to look pretty, so I didn't want it to be like empty or abandoned, because as I said, the spellcaster ghost is still living there, so I had to make it lived in. And when I do builds, I like to have a lot of details and clutter, so it's not really the most scary or spooky place, I know, but I did my best. And as you can see right now, we are finishing the towers. So the first one we have in Oregon. I thought it fit well there in this little corner of space. And in the second tower, it's more like a place where she puts all the stuff that she doesn't really need in her everyday life. So there's some weird jars and also some chests, but I also put a little baby bed. I don't remember how it's called in English. I know it has a specific name, but I can't remember it. But to me, a baby bed in a house without a baby is a little scary. Maybe it's not for you. I'm scared very easily, but I remember a mobile game that I played once. I think it's called Granny. Maybe some of you know it, but it's a pretty weird game, and it's a scary game because it has some jump scares and everything, and basically the goal is to get out of the house without getting killed by Granny. So it's a pretty weird game. I don't know why I played that once. But anyway, in this house, there's a baby bed with no baby. So it's a little weird, but you can still hear a baby laugh. So I don't know why, I just remembered this game and I decided to add a baby bed without a baby just because it looks scary to me. So if you're wondering why there's a bed there, it's because of that. And I will probably come up with a little reason why there's that in the tower. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today's build. Don't forget to go check out the playlist that I will put in the description for the collab. I swear there's some amazing builders and very talented people in this collab. Don't forget to vote for my entry if you like it. I would really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video and you like the build, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and maybe like this video. You can also follow me on social medias, all the links are down in the description, and if you want to use this build and download it, as I said, it's in the gallery. My gallery ID is CamilaYTB. So thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I wish you all an amazing day. Bye!
watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on